Hello there. My name is Johnny Ireland. I'm from East Vancouver. This is True East Van Stories. Uh, I guess I'll start out with a story I've mentioned before. I had it on Spotify, but it's only what you can carry, and that was something my father had told me years and years ago when I was about, oh, I'd say, less than 8 years old. Um, we had traveled around British Columbia into different cities, escaping East Van and escaping trouble and escaping the law and gangsters and such. I mean, I was too young to be escaping all of that, but that was to come. However, my father had gotten into trouble years before. I don't know, several years before, we'll say. And we moved to a place called Prince George, and it's well, I mean, I live right now in a place called Quesnel, which is the asshole of BC. I would say Prince George is the upper butt cheeks of BC. It's really in the midsection of nowhere. Trust me, you're not even on the front side. So anyhow, my father wakes me up in the middle of the night, and he says, "Only what you can carry," and he handed me a bag, a backpack, and I wasn't really sure what he was talking about, but he said, "Only what you can carry. Fill this backpack with whatever you need. That's it. We have half an hour and we have to leave this city now. Like, we have to be gone." And I asked him what was going on, as an 8-year-old would, but obviously my father didn't have any desire to explain that to me. And so he just said, "Only what you can carry." So I packed what little I had, mostly, a couple stuffy toys and a shirt or something. Who knows what I got? And we piled into the car and we left. And we took off in the middle of the night. About I'm guessing it was about 2 o'clock in the morning. It was really early, and there was no one around. There wasn't even a dog running around the neighborhood. We were living in a trash bag trailer park called Nechako, which was a really rough place. That's where I learned how to be well be, become a fighter, become a survivor, because it was a dog eat dog world there. And if you didn't fight back, you didn't survive in that place. They would eat you alive. Fast forward 10 years later, uh, I'll fill you in on the story. We're in Terrace, British Columbia at that time. And my father, he comes, he was over at Tim Hortons, and I'm sitting there with the captain of my wrestling team, Greg Buck. And, he's a strong, rough and tumble kid. And now he's just fat. But anyhow, aside from his fatness, so am I. But at that time, we were on the wrestling team together, and I was in the boxing team, so I could handle myself. And my father put a lead pipe in my hands, and he said that if you want to see your father survive today, you're going to do exactly what I say. And I um I also said, "I don't understand, Dad. What's going on?" He just said, "Just take this and start moving. We don't have the time to discuss this right now." Uh, so yeah. Anyhow, as I'm walking to Tim Hortons, I realize I'll fill you in. He told me this after the whole fact, but it was the guy that was coming in Prince George. He had come to take care of my father for whatever reason. I don't know what that means. Probably pretty damn bad. Because my dad had messed with, as always, a lot of gangsters. And in Alberta, he had messed with a specific gangster. And that guy was not very happy with my father. So he hired this man. He was kind of what the hardcore bikers would call a striker. he wasn't so much as a man that was gonna take your life, but he could, and I'm pretty sure he has done that before. But he would beat you to, well, into a coma, basically. And he was paid by this man from Calgary to come and take care of my father. But my father, having connections all over, basically the country, he was given information that this man was coming. And so he was tipped off that when we were in Prince George, that the guy was going to be there very soon. That we had a matter of hours to get away and leave, take your son and get the hell out of this place. And that's what my father said. You have half an hour. Let's get out of here, because he didn't want to deal with what was happening. So it turned out, as we were walking to the Tim Hortons, that was where the man who had come to our house to kick in the door and take care of my father was sitting. That's what my father filled me in on, that the man that came to hurt your dad and you is here now. So you will stand at this door, and I'm going to go inside and I'm going to take care of this. And when he comes outside, if he comes outside, I want you to hit him and continue to hit him until he is not awake anymore, until he's dead. And I didn't even have time to say, Dad, I'm scared. I don't know what to do. And he was just, boom, he disappeared into Tim Hortons. And I didn't really know what happened in Tim Hortons, but there was a time that went by. And then eventually my father came out and he said, okay, let's go. We have to go now. Let's get out of here. And we took off. And so this is what I had found out years later when we were drinking around a campfire, camping, is which one of the things me and my father used to do together, and was one of the only things we did together that we didn't fight and kill each other with, was fishing and camping outdoors. But my father explained to me that what he had did is he had gone into Tim Hortons and he sat in front of at the table with the man who was renowned as one of the most hardcore street fighters you ever imagine. The guy had blinded a person, hitting him once at Calgary Stampede, and the guy never seen again in one of his eyes. And so he was a man not to be messed with. He was a very formidable character. So my father took a 44 out of his pocket and he put it on the table right in front of the guy, obviously for him to see. And then he asked him, "Do you know who I am?" And the guy responded, "Yes, I know who you are. You're John Vega." And he said, I need to know right now, is this to do with what happened 10 years ago in Prince George? And I want to know what's going on." And the man implored my father that it had nothing to do with the Prince George incident, and that he had nothing to worry about. In fact, he had said that he had went to Prince George, kicked in the door, knowing we weren't even there, and then when he left, he went back to Calgary, told the guy who was paying him, the gangster, that the job was done. Kicked in his door, 2 o'clock in the morning, took care of business. All said and done, no questions asked. And he said he took the money. So my dad picked up the 44, walked out, and we went home. This very abnormal type of scenario, even for me at the time, and I'd have been through a lot. But what made it even worse and weird, actually, it's not really worse. I don't give a fuck. The guy can go fuck himself. He's gone now. But he died mysteriously the next week of a freak logging accident in Kitimat. Now, Terrace is 35, 40 kilometers from Kitimat. And my father mysteriously also disappeared that morning, really early in the morning, packed up and left and, brought some stuff with him. I don't know what it was. And, he left, and he didn't come back till late that evening. And, he didn't look distraught because my father never did. He didn't care. Like, my dad was he was a stone cold killer. That's what he was. That's why I'm so fucked up. He trained me to be like, something a little bit different than the rest of the world expects you to be. You don't put a lead pipe in a boy's fucking hand and tell him, until the man is dead. And you don't put a bag in a kid's hand when he's 8 and tell him 30 minutes only what you can carry, unless you're a little bit of a different man. So somehow my father mysteriously disappears, and this man mysteriously is killed in a freak logging accident. And our problems are never, well, heard of again because this guy's gone. So my father had nothing to worry about, and he told me I had nothing to worry about, and it really was, yeah, none of my business. Only what you can carry.